Well, Washington Post political reporter Amber Phillips joins us now from Washington. Amber, thanks for being here.
Hi.
So let me ask you, did she do anything to change the conversation yesterday in that press conference? Is the perception that she's still hiding something, or is it that she's just being open as she tells reporters, I've got nothing to hide?
Well, it probably depends on your political view if you're a voter, whether you support Hillary or not. You know, looking at this a day later, I think if she did anything to change the conversation, it was a little bit for the worse. Honestly, her defense was awkward. She had a hard time remembering details like whether she wiped the server clean. That quote about what with the cloth is, you know, all we're talking about this morning. So it was a little bit awkward, and it just sort of reiterated that her team is having a hard time handling the whole situation. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things she said wouldn't happen that have happened, like handing the server over to the FBI. So it's tough to tell the immediate aftermath of that conversation, but if it did change at all, I think it was a little bit more for the worse.
And Amber, a new CNN poll shows that only 44% of Americans have a favorable view of her. 53% have an unfavorable view. That's the lowest in 14 years. Do you think that's something she could turn around?
There's still plenty of time. This email controversy, it's hard to tell whether now it's right at its peak, you know, as the FBI is investigating. It's hard to tell whether voters are paying attention to it right now. So there's still plenty of time. I think the number that Hillary Clinton should be really worried about is a recent NBC Wall Street Journal poll saying 65% of American voters don't want to vote for a candidate who's going to continue President Obama's policies. That's troubling for Clinton because she's, you know, in the general election will have a harder time breaking away from being a top Obama administration official. That's sort of the more troubling, you know, political dynamic for Clinton going forward.
Amber, this controversy has drawn comparisons by your colleague Bob Woodward, famous obviously of the duo Woodward and Bernstein, who broke the Watergate scandal. He's saying it's comparable to that. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
Hillary Clinton certainly doesn't think so. You know, as she pointed out in a press conference, she hasn't done anything illegal. She herself is not under investigation. And Bob Woodward actually went on MSNBC Morning Joe this morning and said, hey, what I was talking about was the volume of emails that we don't know what was on them. She, of course, deleted 30,000 some emails from her server that she deemed was private. I think that's a fair comparison in that sense, that there's a ton we don't know right now.